It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hello, it's showtime. What's happening, everybody? The weekend is here, Friday edition of the Geno Jones Show. I know, you can read, you can see the sign behind me, right? So I come to you live normally, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, but today a very special 5:30 start time, and it has nothing to do with the fact that we spring ahead. We turn our clocks ahead 1 hour tomorrow or Saturday night, 2 o'clock, or before you go to bed, turn your clocks ahead, spring ahead 1 hour. So we're going to lose an hour of sleep. I hope you've been trying to get some extra sleep early in the week like I have, I told you. But you gain an extra hour of daylight. There's been a lot of talk about whether or not that they're going to just end this whole daylight savings time. Well, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. There's some states that do not observe a daylight savings time. But I digress. So, Saturday night, before you go to bed, turn your clocks and your watches and everything ahead 1 hour. Otherwise, you're going to be late for church. And that's not a good thing. All right, everybody. So please subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all of my back episodes. They are all fire, must-see TV. Let's get right to the weekend. First of all, here in Charleston, South Carolina, the Metro, a huge weekend. The Charleston Black Expo kicks off tonight with the Taste of Black Charleston, a sold-out event at the brand new International African American Museum. That's going to be amazing, and yours truly is the king of MCs, the king of MCs. Saturday, tomorrow, or Saturday, you got the Charleston Black Expo. It's going to be going on all day. Starts at 10 o'clock, goes on till 5. My radio station, Star 99.7, the number one radio station here in the Low Country, with the number one show for like 18 years straight. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to everybody here in the Low Country area for making the show and my station number one. So we're going to be broadcasting live starting at 11 o'clock. So we'll be there all day. I'll be there. Come by and take selfies. Or if you saw the commercial, they got Eva Marcel, Lorenz Tate, my man that plays from P Valley, Jay Alphonse, Tim Bowman Jr. It's gonna be awesome. They got empowerment seminars, everything. Like you saw the commercial, we'll run it again. Wow, week in review. So really, the week in review began with the the aftermath of the Netflix Chris Rock comedy special / Chris Rock therapy session. Had to really get some stuff off his chest, and all the conversation that's come from behind that, to where apparently CNN is really, really trying to lure Gayle King away from her CBS Morning News gig to come over and host a PM, like a primetime evening show. And now they're talking about having Charles Barkley as their co-host. No shade to Charles Barkley, but you wouldn't have Gayle King coach the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay? I'm just saying. Look, Chuck is great with Shaq and Kenny and Ernie on Inside the NBA, but sometimes you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to say no. So, just Gayle, I would give that show a 1. So they have, if you look at a TV show, for the most part, my entire show is an A block. But like when you watch a lot of your news programs, they have what they call like the first segment, that's like A block, B block. I would give like Gayle King like 10 minutes. The first segment, first commercial break, she'd be on the phone. Look, either his ass has got to go or my ass is leaving. Because I cannot do this with this dude. I'm just saying. So, ladies and gentlemen, she is back. The show is on a hiatus. We are in our brand new studios, our brand new temporary studios, and I'm glad to have her back. She is the number one co-host for the Geno Jones Show, number one in your heart, number one on your program, media personality, professor, businesswoman, mogul, and just my sister by another mother, bring her on camera. There she is. I'm so, look at it. And it is National Women's Month. We just came off the International Women's Day, so I want to honor you and say Happy Women's Month and International Women's Day. I missed it, but we celebrate. You know, we celebrate women. We celebrate black women because, as Malcolm X said, the most unprotected, disrespected, devalued, I'm paraphrasing, neglected person in America is a black woman. And he said that 60 years ago, and unfortunately, it's still true. Keela Carson! Keela Carson!
What's up, G? How are you?
Man.
I know.
Woo!
I know.
Key. If I never, ever, I don't even want Amazon to bring boxes to my house. Damaris can just go and get them. Go to Amazon and pick them up. Don't even bring no boxes. I don't want nothing coming near me in a box.
I know. And
ooh, Key, if you only knew. Man.
I know. Listen, you don't.
Yeah, but you don't know that this was, man.
Oh, it was special, even more special.
Yeah, this was next level, Key. So, but guess what?
What?
It'll never happen again. I'm telling you. I might ain't gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do? Now I mentioned it last Friday.
Just gonna throw everything out.
So I don't even know if they have these. You know, like they have wedding planners and event planners.
Oh, yes, they do have
moving planners.
They have moving companies that will do everything for you.
Well, I want a planner, like the event planner and the wedding
planner.
Well,
that's what I mean. You give them the reins and say, this is where I'm going, what has to be done. And they will mark boxes to say, okay, this goes this room, that room, this room, that room. We box it, we take it out, we put it up. You tell us which side of the room. I mean, they do everything.
As a matter of fact, I would prefer not to even have to tell them nothing. They need to know.
Geno.
I want to see somebody with the little clipboard and the pen and some glasses on. And
okay.
Team. You know, I tell you what. You know who I want? I want the folks that move the presidents.
Oh,
listen. You know, they move them out in like 3 hours.
Listen, all it takes is a little bit of money.
Yeah.
So y'all keep watching, so Geno can make all that money. Because with the money, baby, you can do baby, they will be clipping your toenails while they're setting up your new bedroom.
And so as a matter of fact, you would give me a great idea, Key. I don't even want to be on the continental United States. I want to be in Jamaica or Maui somewhere or Trinidad and Tobago and live stream it on my phone. That's the closest I want to get to moving, is to live stream it on my phone from a Caribbean island. I don't drink, so sipping on some virgin, whatever it is, or some ginger ale.
Ginger ale, yeah. Well, you gotta be careful down there when you say ginger. You know.
That's true.
Some stuff is liquor ginger.
Yeah.
But I get it, Geno. I have the last time I moved, I didn't have I couldn't. I just had the company come in and do it, and that was that. I had one of those what do they call it? Pod?
Yeah, pod. Yeah. Like a big storage container. They have, sometimes you see them in people's driveways. Yes.
Yeah. So I had one of those. They had that packed up, and when we get it, they unpacked it and I mean took the boxes and
all that. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
Get the box. Yeah. I don't want to see nothing when I get back to the States.
Yeah. And it wasn't too bad because a lot of the stuff, because that's the house that I gutted and totally redid. So a lot of stuff was new, and they left a lot of stuff at my other house with my daughter. So, and then I had both houses done at the same time. So you can imagine that was a
man, that's like
same time.
You were on a death wish, suicide.
Just about. And contractors, were they shady?
Yeah. I'll say it for you. Shady ass.
Yeah, you got to be real careful. And I was there every morning. They were so sick of me. I was there like the boss, like, it's 9 o'clock. Where the workers at? I don't see no paint hitting the walls. What we're doing?
Well, see, listen, like I said, that's why I want a planner with the, like in the movie, I want you to walk around, follow me with the legal pad and the pencil, because I'm going to just give instructions, and me and the mayors are on a plane.
Yeah.
And when I get back, I don't even want to see the plan. I just want to see a note on the door. Thank you for your business.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have, that empirical data, but let me just say this: up under public speaking, moving is probably the next nightmare of a person, an adult. Yeah, moving it's the worst.
Well, the public speaking, we do that for a living. So we got that part, we've mastered that part.
Right.
That moving part is.
Yeah, it'll make you want to stay. What's the place that Good Times, what project did they live in? Cabrini Green? Yeah, it'll make you just say, "Can we just stay here?"
Right. And the best part, Keith, they've torn down Cabrini Green a long time ago.
Have they?
Oh yeah, they got like literally $1 million townhomes around there.
I believe it. Gentrification.
Yep, absolutely.
Gentrification. That was a whole topic this weekend last weekend amongst my friends that can have those intellectual conversations. Gentrification.
Yes.
But it's real.
Let's gentrify our own neighborhood. How about that? I've been saying that for a while. A bunch of us, the black
just
Greeks,
get together and buy.
Let's gentrify. Let's go ahead and start buying some blocks up. Gentrify our own stuff.
But there, Geno, there are people who are doing that.
Good.
Yeah, I mean it's small, but that's how it happens. You start out with a small group. We call them the pilot group. The small group, and it's a family and some friends. They all got together. They pooled their money together. They bought this land. I don't think it's far from you. It might be in the other Carolina, north. But they got together, they bought this land, and they're trying to get together now and build houses on the property.
Yes.
And they want to build like a little strip mall, I guess, kind of.
There you go. Right.
Thing.
I mean, we've done it before, Key. We've had Black Wall Street twice because they burned it down in Tulsa,
right,
1921. Right. Then they rebuilt it, and then the government built an interstate and right through it and tore that down. But that happened Detroit, Chicago. You had interstates. They literally built through thriving black communities.
Yep.
So.
Ours was a black bottom.
Yeah, black. There you go. So,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, listen, anywhere there were black people who were self-sufficient, taking care of themselves, understanding that they needed their own stores and businesses, whatever that may have looked like years ago.
Yeah, they did it in New Orleans.
Right.
All your major cities. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And wherever that was taking place, some they call it rioting took place. That wasn't what it was. No. It was massacre.
Right. Exactly.
They came in and slaughtered our people and burned down our businesses. And in some cases, then came and took the land.
Yes. And in Tulsa, the government was a part of it because they had like military planes flying over, but that's a whole other show. You can go back and binge watch that episode. Speaking of black folks, wow, the talk of not just black folks, but like the talk of America. I haven't seen you since the Netflix special, heard and seen around the world. I ain't mad at Chris Rock. $40 million basically to get some stuff off your chest.
Right, because that's what it was. It wasn't.
Can I sign up?
Yeah, it wasn't. Other Chris Rock's past stand-up that have been on either HBO, Netflix, or what have you, have been almost to the point of just classics.
Yes.
It's like each one is just amazing. This one, not so much, but this is what I say. When you've been hitting them out of the ballpark like Chris has all these years and doing the kind of quality work with his show that was on HBO, the Chris Rock show, and then his television show with Everybody Hates Chris, and all of the other things that he has done, he can have a dud. And the last 20-25 minutes of the special was worth the in the beginning.
The last 10 definitely worked. unless you were Will and Jada, which is another conversation. So
he lit into that tail.
I want to get your take, Key. Being a woman, being a black woman, because there's been a lot. Chris Rock has gotten a lot of heat, and especially a lot of heat from black women. First of all, a lot of them say Chris is problematic from doing the Good Hair special, and say that he basically exploited black women, picked on them, showed them in a negative light. And then there's a whole lot of controversy about him calling Jada Pinkett Smith a bitch, and it's just listen. In that situation, nobody's got clean hands. All right, literally.
You're right.
From Will, who obviously, and he admitted it, he needed therapy before he actually went up there and slapped Chris Rock. And listen, because I read there was a sister who's pretty prominent on social media. She was just saying that. Because when he talked about the entanglement, when Chris talked about the entanglement that Jada had, and that part is pretty funny. He's like, so your wife goes and has an entanglement, and everybody, all these people who called you, talking about Will Smith a bitch,
right?
And you slap me,
right. Your wife has an entanglement with your son's friend, and you come and slap me.
Right. But so the thing though, I saw funny. One sister said that when black women take sexual agency. Now I said, okay, this is what threw me, because I'm like, so if Will would have cheated on Jada with Willow's friend, would Will be exercising his sexual agency? I mean, at some point, look, if you being a dog or being a hoe, male, female, I mean, sometimes you just gotta. Now, maybe I'm wrong, Key, so I want to get your take as a woman and get your perspective. But that part, I'm like, well, wait a minute now.
Yeah, but
and like you said, wait, and then she got on the Red Table Talk and sat there with Will and was like, well, I did because I just needed to feel alive or something. That's bold, Key.
I mean, what was the high five they gave each other at the end? Bad marriage for life or something?
I didn't see that. Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They were so like at the end, they were like, and bad marriage for life and high five or fist pump or, because the thing for them is, regardless of how bad it gets, divorce is not an option.
Well,
I think they need to go get a divorce.
Yeah, I'm going to say this. Listen, if Damaris cheats on me with one of Allie or Boogie's, with one of Allie or Boogie's friends.
Right, one of the kids' friends.
I am not coming on this show with her and to have her explain to me why she cheated on me with one of Allie's.
And then say, it's okay because we're going to have a bad marriage for life. So it don't matter what you do.
No. Yeah.
But
there may be some therapy and counseling, but no. I'm not going to have her sit across from me and say, well, I just needed to feel alive, so I had to sleep with Allie or Boogie's, classmate or something.
What's his name? Alcina?
August Alcina.
Yeah. So let me say this. Okay, first let's take the mature approach to this. But first you have to read Will Smith's book.
You keep talking.
I keep telling you that.
Yep.
Because those of us who read the book or listened to the book during like with the Audible, when the slap came, we were like, oh well, yeah, had to happen. Because he tells you right there in the book, I'm probably going to do something pretty
Really?
soon.
So he predicted.
Well, because he's like, what do you call it, Geno? About to explode.
Wow.
He's on the edge.
Wow.
And he's doing things to try to woosasa and calm himself and center himself, looking for the ashram and the Buddha and the yam nam yam ring yang.
Right.
He's trying to do everything he can to, but he says it in the book. Jada is just, I mean, when she's not happy, and I'm tired of trying to figure that out.
Wow.
And so he told her, you gotta do you, and I'm gonna go over here and try to figure me out. And the second part to that is that Will has a problem where he doesn't like to fail or lose. So if you don't like to fail or lose, and your wife is in the room next door with your son's bestie, you probably got to figure out how that's not a loss. So you got to twist it. So that's where you get bad marriage for life. Like, okay, that's
and then Key, wait, correct me if I'm wrong. She actually did it in the house with dude. I think.
I'm sorry. Did you not hear me? I said when your wife is in the next room with your son's bestie.
Oh, she did it when Will was in the house? Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, okay.
Well, it don't really matter whether he was there.
Right. I mean, he knew about it.
He smelled the cologne, so he probably knew.
Okay, and
hey, this ain't Jaden's cologne. Whose cologne is this?
Exactly. So I don't know where they were, but he knew that there was an entanglement going on.
Wow.
Okay. And so when you know that, how do you make that a success? And so Will had to do that, and that's where you get the bad marriage. And because Jada has been saying all through the marriage, I don't want to be married. She said that before the marriage because he wanted it. She never wanted to get married. Everything Will the big house they live in, she never wanted it. All those trappings, she never wanted any of that. And she told the whole family. And her mother was like, come on, gotta get married. And, and so everybody was like, come on, you gotta do that.
So, outside of Tupac, has she stated what or who, what does she want?
Well, she said she just wanted whatever she wanted, which might be different today and new tomorrow. And she says she was raised in an unconventional way. And Will talks about that.
Oh, that's where that open marriage thing came from. Oh.
Well, Will is gonna have to be open, or I'm gonna.
She gonna open it whether you want to open it.
Right. So I don't know that she necessarily wanted an open marriage. I don't think she wanted a marriage. So if you are in a marriage and you want to have other people, then I guess you gotta call it open.
I guess that didn't work out too well for Monique, because you saw recently she said, well, when my husband said, yeah, he was going to be down with the open part, then she was like, oh, second thought, maybe not. Maybe let's close.
Yeah, because she was selling that BS for years.
Right.
With her husband. And listen, for people who can do it, God bless you.
More power to you.
More power to you. But I'm not the one, because I don't get it. I don't get that. I would just not be married.
Yeah. That part right there, Keith.
Right there. And then I'd be free and I can, do whatever I want to. Now, some people will tell you they do it for practical reasons. Like, well, you want a spouse so that you have someone and you're sharing assets and this, that, and the other, and somebody, if something happens, can be responsible. Maybe you do want to have children and all that.
Yeah.
But really you're living that it's a name for that kind of a marriage, but it's a marriage of it's not conventional.
Yeah, and listen, for
Okay.
some people it works. I'm not
Yes.
judging. As my
Yes.
mother said one day,
Yes.
uh, who died and left me in charge? I don't
That's
have.
right.
She said, I don't have a hell to heaven to put nobody in. So I'm.
That's right. And usually those kind of marriages, though, they start out, Geno, as there's no, ooh, surprise. Alcina's here. It's not like that. They start out with other people already,
Yeah.
and they just say we're gonna get married, and
But you know what happens, Keith? Now I've seen this. I've seen this because I know people who have had those type of relationships and marriages. But you know the one thing that always trips it up, not always, but when they get tripped up, probably, I don't have the data, but I've got the anecdotal data and just life experience, just knowing folks and talking to folks. When somebody catches feelings that wasn't supposed to catch feelings.
So, I mean, you can't control that. I mean, you start out one way and then
somebody catches feelings that wasn't really supposed to be catching feelings. And,
that's right.
Or somebody caught feelings for somebody
that
they weren't supposed to catch feelings for.
And now they want out of this marriage because they want to be with the other person. So you're absolutely correct. You can't, just like any relationship, you can't predict how this will go, right? So, but about the sexual agency, listen, they both were wrong. Okay. Meaning Will and Jada. But I think no matter who does the cheating or who commits the infidelity, you're wrong. Okay? I thought that Chris was out of line by calling Jada a bitch, not because of simply because I just don't think that's right to call a woman a, especially if so and then I'm gonna shut it down. If you remember that your mama told you not to fight in front of white people.
Okay. All right now.
Then
she probably told you don't call a woman a bitch.
Thank you. Did you forget that part?
And Keith, let me say this real quick. I know his mom. I met his mom. As a matter of fact, his mom. So if Georgetown.
But she's the teacher, right?
Yes, I think she's retired now. But so I've been here 18 years. Mm-hmm. So a couple years after I got here, I would get a call on the air. She was a big fan of my radio show, and she would.
Did she live there? I thought they were in New York.
Georgetown, which is about 60 miles from downtown Charleston.
Okay.
So
was she teaching at the college? Was she teaching at the college or just
No, because Georgetown is not close to, I said it's maybe about 60, 70 miles out, maybe 50.
Okay.
Somewhere 50, 60 miles out, but it's right up the coast. So our signal goes all the way through. Georgetown is like halfway between Charleston and Myrtle Beach.
Gotcha.
Georgetown.
Okay.
But she would call all the time, and one day she would say, "This is so-and-so rock." I'm not thinking anything of it. I'm like, okay. And one day, for whatever reason, she says, yeah, she's like, or maybe I think maybe Chris had a special on and not knowing. I was like, oh yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. She's like, oh yes, Chris is my son. I was like, Chris? Rock? She said, yeah, that's my son. I was like, oh. And I met her, she's very nice. Yeah.
He's a little bitty old person.
Yes. Well, he a little bitty old.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
he talked about that.
He talked about it.
Yeah. What did he say, Geno? That Will did Muhammad Ali. He said, I try out for that?
Right. I did Pookie in New Jack City.
So funny. But I give Chris Rock a pass, all areas of the special, because although he might have been out of pocket with calling Jada a bitch and all that, he was correct in that, look, they put their business out there.
Come on, say it. Because I said it. Come on now.
Yeah, they started that. And once you let it out, you can't put it back in the Pandora in the box. You let it out.
Right. You go live, you live stream on your show on Facebook, and then have your husband sit across from you and you tell him why you slept with you all son's best friend.
Right.
Dang
near
who
a
does
teenager.
that? I mean, y'all do y'all, but I'm like, we ain't doing that in the Jones household.
Some things you gotta keep.
Oh, please say that part.
Come on. Some things you just gotta keep in the marriage, in the house. Keep it quiet. Don't air your dirty laundry. And there is some truth to that, because you can't convince and make people understand the nuances of your life. And listen, couples do some things, but they also keep that thing to themselves.
Yes.
Because you got all kind of stuff going on within marriages.
My mother, who your number one fan, she's like, there go my girl Keela.
Hi, Mom.
She would say teeth and tongue fall out and they share the same mouth.
Okay.
So, but everything is not for public consumption.
That's right.
I know I overshare, but there's some sharing you will never get out of me.
Come on now. You better preach. We have all seen our mothers, grandmothers, aunties, fathers, uncles, daddy. There be all kind of stuff going on with mama and daddy, and you'll never know. They just come in from church like, you want dinner? No, I'm going over to the bar. Okay. Well, you know what time to be home, right? Because we talked about it last night. But you don't know what's happening. You never knew. Or one day you get older and your family members say, what's wrong with you? And you're like, I'm going through this. They say, don't you know that your daddy and your grandfather and I went through the same thing? I had to knock his head off one day. But you don't talk about it. Yeah. Shut up. Social media is not the place for you to vomit your life. Shut up.
Everything ain't for everybody.
Come on.
And everything is not for public consumption.
Okay.
There's something to be said. I will close with one of the pearls of wisdom from Gene Jones, my grandmother. Rest in peace, power in paradise, Mom. Don't always let your left hand know what your right hand's doing.
And let the church say amen.
Keela Carson, I love you, my sister. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media.
Keela Carson everywhere, like you see on the screen, on Facebook, Snapchat, even though I don't use it, Twitter, and what am I missing?
Twitter, Instagram, IG.
Instagram. Thank you. Yep.
There you go. All right, Key. Have a great weekend. I love you. We'll see you next
too.
week.
Love you too. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you. That's my sister. That's my family right there, Miss Keela Carson. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. Normally, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Special start time today, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Monday, we will be back at 6:30, but make sure that you turn your clocks ahead 1 hour to Saturday or tomorrow, depending if you're not watching me live. You could be watching me on demand. Saturday night before you go to bed, or 2 o'clock if you're out partying at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. Spring ahead, turn your clocks ahead 1 hour. We gain an hour of daylight. That's why they call it daylight savings time. I don't know how much they're going to be saving this daylight savings time, because they've been talking about getting rid of it for a while, but we'll see. You're going to lose an extra hour of sleep. So I don't know. Maybe tonight you need to go to bed an extra hour too early, or tomorrow work that thing out, because I've been working on mine all week, trying to at least get an extra hour's sleep. All right, everybody. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Check him out on Instagram, Kel B Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones is Allie Jones. She is the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show, or as I like to call her, the Drip Director. She's on Instagram, lx.ncl_. lx NCL_, that little dash below. And Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram. His collection, the Mario Uomo collection and the Fly Ball collection. It's Miglio di Mario Uomo on IG, Instagram, MIGILIODIMARIOUOMO. Have a great weekend. I am off to the Taste of Black Charleston, and then tomorrow, if you're in the area, not jump on the interstate, jump on 95 or 75, 85 or 40 or 20 or 26 and come on to Charleston, South Carolina. Beautiful city on the coast, the largest city in South Carolina, and it's the Charleston Black Expo, an amazing event. I will see you live Monday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, and until then, be blessed, pray for peace, and speaking of the Charleston Black Expo.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.